I'm looking at what is your use? Yeah. What is your use? So every person upon the surface of this earth has a use or a purpose. So I'm looking at what is your use. Yeah. Now, when you buy something, when you purchase something, yeah, you know why you're buying it. You know for what purpose, for what use. And then when you look at the labeling of it, yeah, what does it tell you about the product? What does it tell you about that service? What does it tell you, yeah, that it will do? What's the result, your end result? What are you aiming for? What are you seeking for? What do you want to see this thing do for you? Yeah. So it is what you want to receive, what the end result. That's the use of that item. Yeah. Now I'm buying a particular item. I need this I need it to produce such and such. Yeah. So then I would look at the label. Does it actually do what I'm needing, or what I'm requiring, or what I'm looking at? Yeah. What my focus is on. I want this to be the result. Does it produce the results? What is the use of that product? Yeah. So the same way, what's the use of me? What's the use of you? Yeah. Now I'm talking about purpose, but I'm calling it use. Yeah. What's your use? What's your purpose? What are you created for? What are you created for? Yeah. So, yes, I'm alive. I exist. But what's my use in this earth? On this earth? What's my use in my family? What's my use? Yeah. Now, in everything that I do, yeah, am I amounting to my use? Am I becoming that useful purpose? Am I being something, yeah, that is productive? Because my use has to be productive. My use has to yield. My use has to be fruitful. Fruitful, yeah? So if there's no fruitfulness in me, if there's no purpose in me, what am I all about? Yeah, what's my use? What am I all about? I am created. Yes, I'm alive. I am living. I'm existing. But is it enough for me to exist? Is it enough just for me to survive? Is it enough for someone to say, yes, she is. I've seen her. I know her. Yeah. Or it's enough for me to know what my use is, so that I will make use of that use. Yeah. So that I will make use of that purpose. So that I will make use. Yeah. So that now I will not waste what I am given. Yeah, because when you buy a product, you don't want to buy it and then put it on the shelf and let it expire before you make use of it. So what the product is to produce, you want it to produce. Yeah, whether it's to give you vitamins, it's some supplements, yeah, or food or whatever, and it's to give you vitamins. Yeah, I will have it, I will eat it so that I get my vitamins. If it is the sun now, it gives us vitamin D. Yeah, that's the use of the sun. Now, it gives us light. It gives us that vitamin D. Yeah. Now, it is the use of the sun. What's my use as a person? What's my use as an individual? What's my use as a father, as a mother? What's my use as a pastor? What's my use? Yeah. Because I could have that title. Am I using the title? Am I becoming that title? Am I showing that I carry that title for a reason? Or do I carry the title because I've been given it? Am I just using it to present myself? I am so and so. I am this and that. But I'm not using the title that I've been given. Am I standing in my title? Am I being productive in my title? Am I working according to my title? Am I living according to my title? Yeah. So what's my use? What's my use? In my family, what's my use? I may be the father, I may be the mother, I may be the oldest, yeah, in the family. But what's my use? Do people come to me as the oldest because I have wisdom? Or do they come to me for another purpose? What's my use in this family? What's my use in this community? What's my use? Yeah. Who am I? Yeah. Now, other than just having a name, other than being a part of a family, who am I in that family? What do I produce? Who have I become? Now, it's not what they rely upon me. Yeah. But who am I to myself? Yeah. Because people may rely upon you because you can provide. But who am I? I'm not just their provider. Who am I? What has God created me to become? What has God put inside me? What's the talent? What's the gift? What is it that God has released in me that I should be using? Who am I? What's the gift in me? What's the talent in me? What is it that God has implanted in me? What is it that he has engraved in me? What is it that he has given to me? What is it that I'm supposed to be? Now, it's deposited in me, but I'm supposed to use it. Who am I? Now, what's my use? Because what God has given me, that's my use. Yeah, that's what people should be able to see. That's what I should portray. That's what I should show. That's what now should come out of me. That's my use. Now, when I do something, people understand she's doing that because that's what she was given. That's what she knows best. What do I know that I do best? That's what is my use. What I know. Yeah. Now, this is what I understand. This is what I know about me. What do you understand about yourself? What do you know about yourself? What do you call yourself? Because what you call yourself will produce your use. What you call yourself, what you have named yourself, not the name you are given at birth, but the name you have given yourself. That's the name that will give you that produce. That's the name that will become your use. Yeah. Now, I'm a solicitor. Yeah. Are you just being a solicitor? Yeah. Because I'm getting money out of it. Or are you doing it because this is what I want to do to help people, despite being paid or not? Yeah. Now, where is your passion? Because your passion, where your passion is, that's where your use is. Who are you? My passion is my use. I become that thing I'm passionate about. I grow into that thing I'm passionate about. That's my use upon the earth. Because that's what I want to do. Yeah. But again, what you want to do, is it what you should be doing? Yeah. Or what you just want to do? Now, what I should be doing, yeah? Now, what I want to do may be different from what I should be doing. So you have to understand, what's my use before I want to do this? What's my use before I step into this? What's my use before I become engraved in this thing or engrossed in this thing? What's my use? Yeah. Now, what's my use? I am placed upon the earth. There is a purpose. There is a reason. There's something that I'm supposed to be doing. What's my calling in that area? What's my calling? Now, what is it that God has placed in me that I'm supposed to be showing? What is my use? We are all called differently. We all come out different. We are all different. Yeah. We are different in so many ways. What's my use upon the earth? What's my use in my family? What's my use? Yeah. Now, it may be at work. It may be in the community. It may be wherever you are. What's my use? Do I stand out? Now, in standing out, not standing out because I'm a noisemaker, not standing out because I'm that person that bullies others, not standing out because I am that person that wants to be popular, not standing out because I'm looking for a crowd to stand with, not standing out because I want to belong, not standing out in the wrong reasons. But where am I standing? Am I standing right? Am I standing in my purpose? Am I standing in my use? What's my use? Yeah. When I understand my use, I will stand right. When I understand my use, I will know this is where I need to be. When I understand my use, I will understand who I am. When I understand my use, I will understand, now, where do I need to be? Where do I need to stand? Where do I need to? Now, everything that I need to do, yeah, my use has to show in that thing. It has to show in that thing. Yeah, let it not be just my name or my title, but what I need to do, my use, my purpose, yeah, has to show in that very thing. It has to show. It has to be a part of it. Yeah, because I am one person, I am whole, I'm complete. And without my use, I'm not complete. So with me doing something and my use, yeah, or my purpose on this earth, now if I do something and that doesn't exist in it, then it's not complete. Yeah? So my use has to stand. My use has to show. What's my use on this earth? What's my part in this earth? Yeah, my part, what part am I playing? What part am I, now, have I become? When people look at me, what do they say? It is not about what people say, by the way. But what do they see? Is it something good? Is it working towards my use? Because maybe I know what my use is, but I don't know how to get there. So I'm walking towards there. So are people saying that, yes, she's walking towards becoming that thing? Yeah. Am I walking? Am I moving? Am I growing into that thing? Because it may take time. Now, my use may be something that is very difficult. It may be something that it takes a long time to progress, to get into that area. Now, am I progressing? Am I walking into it? Am I becoming it slowly? Or are they seeing me diverting? Are they seeing me moving away? Are they seeing me not even close enough? Are they seeing me? No, she doesn't look interested. Am I interested in my use? Am I interested in that thing? Am I interested in the results? Am I interested in what should become of me? What is my use? Yeah. What is my use? Now, am I becoming that thing? Am I being the thing that God wants me to be? Am I being the right thing or the real thing? Yeah. Because I have to be real. I can't be fake. I can't work towards it just in case. Now, I have to go in fully. I have to know, to understand that this is what not just that what I want, but this is my use. This is who I am. This is who I ought to be. This is what I am supposed to be. Now, I am walking towards it. I am leaning towards it. I am going towards it. I am moving towards it. Am I going towards it? Am I standing in the right place? Am I positioned right? Because first you have to position yourself. If my use is this, am I positioned right where I can reach it? Am I positioned right so that I can walk into it? Am I positioned right so that I can move into it? Am I positioned right so that I will not miss it? Because if you position yourself in a way that you are not directly linked, then you will not be linked. Yeah, you have to be positioned. You have to be positioned. Now I can imagine David when he had the sling in his hand and he wanted to aim at Goliath. He had to position himself because that was his use at that purpose. His use was to kill Goliath. And when he stood there, he positioned himself right so that he makes sure I cannot miss my target. And that's your target. Your use is your target. Your use is your target. So Goliath was the use. Was the target that David needed. I have to position myself. If my use is to kill Goliath, I have to make sure that I'm standing in the right place. I have to make sure that I'm in the right place. I have to make sure that I'm not shifted, that I'm not swaying, that I'm not swept off my feet, that I'm not falling, that I'm not moving in the wrong direction. I have to make sure that I'm rising according to that target. Because if my target is rising, I have to be rising. If my target is, now, if it needs more work, I have to put in more work. What is my use? Am I putting in more work in the things that I need to achieve? Am I putting in more work in what I need to become? Am I putting in more work in the use that I ought to be? Am I doing the right thing? Am I standing in the right place? Am I positioned right? David stood where he stood. He knew if I stand at this angle, I will get him. And I'm aiming at his head. I cannot miss. His body is big. I could say, let me go with the body. But if I hit the body, he will still stand. He may be bleeding. There may be a broken bone, but he will still be alive. I don't want him alive because my use is to get rid of Goliath. So that Goliath in your life, are you standing right? Are you positioned right? Are you standing? Because your use is to kill that Goliath. Your use, is to come against him. Are you coming against him? Are you standing right to destroy Goliath? Are you standing right that use will be destroyed? Are you standing use because you have to terminate this person or that thing? You have to position yourself. Am I positioned in my use? Am I positioned in my use? Am I in the right place? Am I in the right place? Am I in the right angle? Am I standing right? Am I not swaying up and down? Am I not moving up and down? Now I have to stand still. I have to be quiet. Sometimes your use, because what you want to do, I have to be silent to attack it. I have to be silent to come against it. I have to be silent so that when I get there, you won't even know I got there. Now, when David was in the wilderness and the lion was coming and the bear was coming, David had to be silent, because if he makes noise, maybe the lion will run away, and tomorrow the same lion will come back. He will wait. He will keep coming back. It will weary David one day, but David had to be quiet. You know what? I know what to do. I will move slowly. I will move quietly. I am the shepherd. I have to protect my sheep. And if this is my work, my use is to protect them. My use is to keep them. My use is to make sure that every one of them return home safely. That is my use in this field. Since I'm alone, it is my use to protect. Therefore, David went slowly and quietly, and he got the lion, and he got the bear, and he did what man cannot do, because that was his use. He had to position himself. Had he positioned himself wrong, had he stood wrong, had he made a wrong move, he would have been destroyed. God was with him, yes, but if you make a wrong move, you will be destroyed. If you make a wrong move, that target you're aiming for, that Goliath, will come against you. Had David stood wrong or made a wrong move, Goliath may have come. Yes, God was there. The Israelites were to win that battle, but if you make a wrong move, your target will take over. Your target will rise. Your target will come against you. I'll read 2 Kings chapter 3, verse 26 and 27. And it says, "And when the king of Moab saw that the battle was too sore for him, he took with him 700 men and drew sword to break through, even unto the king of Edom, but they could not. Then he took his oldest son, that should have reigned in his stead, and offered him for a burnt offering upon the wall. And there was a great indignation against Israel, and they departed from him and returned to their own land." Yeah. What's your use? Now, the use of this king. Yeah, I am a king. I am a leader. That's my job. That's my use to the kingdom. And then they were in battle with the Israelites. And the Israelites, yes, they were winning. But then this king thought, no, they can't win against us, the king of Moab. So the battle it was too sore against them. It was too sore. His people were being killed. His people was being destroyed. They could have taken over his land. And he thought, no, this cannot happen. I have to make sure that my people know my use. I have to make sure that even God knows my use. And he took his own son. He took his son, and his eldest son, the one that if had he died in the battle, the son would have taken over and reigned over the land of Moab. But the king said to himself, we cannot lose this battle. I am not standing to lose this battle. This nation, our Moab, will not stand to lose the battle. We will not go home and be mourning because we've been beaten by the Israelites. And the man now decided to take his oldest son that would have reigned instead of him. And he took his son and offered him for a burnt offering. And when God saw that he has done this, and God said this is different, and God looked upon him, and he had mercy upon the Moab, and he caused the Israelites to be defeated in the war. Now it's how your position is, your thinking right, is what you're doing right, is what you're doing right. So the king thought, no, this is not right. But if I offer unto God, I know about burnt offering, I know about offering and sacrifices. And he decided, if If I do this unto the Lord, I'm sure he will change his mind. I am not bribing him. I am not bribing him, but I know God. I'm not saying he loves offering. I'm not saying he has asked for it, because this is what I want to do for the kingdom's sake, for the Moabites. I will bless my son as a sacrifice. I will give my son as a sacrifice. And when he gave his son, God turned the battle around. God turned the battle around, and the Moabites now are winning. And the Moabites stood, and the Moabites won, and they rejoiced. And the Israelites went back home. They went back in mourning. They went back to their places. They went back to their homes. They went back to their families. They had lost the battle. How are you standing? What is your use? What will people remember you by? Because this king, we are still remembering him. We are still reading about him. We are teaching about him. We are preaching about him. What he has done for the Moabites. Lord, now how you stand. It is how you stand. Do you understand your use? Do you know what your use is? Do you even understand it? Have you thought about it? Have you gone around in your mind and thought, what's my use? And thought, what can I do? And thought, can I actually do it? Is it something that I'm called to do? Is it something I'm passionate about? It is something that will cause me to win, not for men, but for God. Because this Moabite, the king, he was not only winning for his people, but he was winning for God. And that's why he sacrificed. He didn't sacrifice to their God. He sacrificed to God himself. He sacrificed to the King of Kings. When you stand with the Lord, he will tell you what to do. He will show you what you need to do. He will tell you what your use is. He understood, I am a king. We can't go home mourning. We can't go home. What do we tell our wives? What do we tell our children? We've been beaten by the Israelites. What do we say? And he decided his son, the one that should reign, and said, you, I will sacrifice you. You, I will give unto the Lord. You, I will return unto the Lord. You are the sacrifice of the Moabite. And for that reason, God caused the battle to turn around. It says, and there was a great indignation against Israel. And they departed from him, and they returned to their land. They returned in defeat. They returned not carrying the trophy. They returned not shouting, no joy among them, no talking even. They went back home. They went maybe ashamed. They could not believe, where is our God this time? Because they were not standing right. They didn't understand their use. They didn't get their use. But this king, the Moabite, he understood his use. I am a king. I can't go back. I can't be laughed at. I can't go back. When men now say, what sort of king are you? What sort of person are you? What's your use in this place? What's your use in this nation? In this Moabite? What are you doing here? We will demote you. We will dethrone you. But he stood his ground and he spoke to the Almighty. I am giving my son. I'm releasing him to you. I'm sacrificing him. That Lord, you will do what you will do. Lord, you will do what you do. I have known people to sacrifice. I have known people to give burnt offering. And you have spoken great things. You will do it for the Moabite. He spoke within himself. He understood something. He understood his use. He understood his purpose. He understood who he was. So he stood himself as David did the same. I'm standing my ground. I will not be shifted. The king stood his ground. If I take my son and kill my son and offer him to God, I know the God the Israelites serve, even though I may not serve him. But I understand that if I do this, the Lord will cause something to happen. I don't know what. I don't understand what. But this is a beginning of my journey to make my use in this land. It is a beginning of my journey to take a stand in this land. What is your use? What is your use? Hosea 4 verse 6 says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Your knowledge is what tells you what your use is. Your knowledge leads you to where your use is. Now, if it says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. So if you don't have that knowledge, then you lose what your use is. If you don't have knowledge, then you don't know what your use is. That means you are displaced. That means you can't even get there, because where do I start? I don't have even knowledge. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Now, the lack of knowledge we're talking about, we don't know Christ. We don't want to probably even know him or understand him. And because of that, we are destroyed, because now when something happens, how do I go to God? I've not served him for that long. I've not even gone to him. I've not called his name. I've not turned to him. I've not gone to church. I don't even go there. I don't want to hear his word. Now that this has happened, I am in this situation. I can't stand the situation, but yet I can't go to God. So then I am destroyed, because I don't listen to him. Neither do I want to listen to him. But when trouble comes, I don't know how to start. How do I make a relationship with someone that I abandoned? How do I make a relationship with someone that I didn't want to know? Someone that I ignored, someone that I thought, this one is nothing. I don't want to waste my time. And now I'm in a situation I can't stand. I'm in a situation that, Lord, now how do I come to you? And I find that even that knowledge, the little knowledge that I had 10 years ago has also disappeared. The little knowledge I had 4 days ago, 4 years ago, has also disappeared, because I have not used it. I have not made use of. Now, what's my use? If I don't make use of what I'm supposed to be, I will lose it along the way, because I will divert. I will find attention elsewhere. I'll find people that will divert me, people that will take me elsewhere, people that will cause me to leave my use, to leave my purpose, to leave that very thing that God is saying, walk this way. And I'm saying, no, I like these people. Let me be their friends for now. I will come back to you, Lord. My people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. What knowledge has God given you? What talent has God given you? What is it that the Lord has put in you that you have not followed, that you have not listened, that you have not carried, that you have not obeyed, and now you have gone elsewhere? You have followed the wrong people, and you are lost in the crowd. And God is saying, now you are destroyed because you are following the crowd. You've forgotten what I gave you. You forgot the assignment. You forgot your use. You forgot your purpose. You forgot who you are. You forgot the real you. I said it to you before, but now you have chosen. You are going elsewhere. Now you have forgotten. The Lord God says, I will forget thy children too, because you have forgotten my purpose. Your purpose. You have forgotten your use. I said it to you. I showed it to you. I gave you visions. I gave you dreams. I gave you prophecies. I spoke to you in every language I could speak to you in. I spoke to you. I showed myself. I showed it to you. I placed it before you. I played it before you, but you refused. And now you've lost the knowledge. You've lost your use. What are you going to become? Therefore you are destroyed. Therefore you are destroyed. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. You reject what you've been given. You reject what he has given. You reject it. And the Lord also rejects your children. It becomes now a double punishment, because he has already rejected you. Actually, he didn't reject you. He has rejected your future. He has rejected your future. He has rejected your future. I'm talking about your children. I'm talking about your children. So your use has to do with your children. If you know your use, begin to work towards it. Begin to go towards it, so that you will not be rejected. Your future will not be rejected. Your children will not be rejected. Your children will not be rejected. My people are destroyed because they have rejected what I've given them. I said, this is where I want you to be. This is the path I want you to follow. But you find it, no, it's too hard. Lord, I don't know why you're sending me that way. Lord, I don't know. I know people who have become what you're saying, but this is the route they took, and it was quick for them, and it worked for them. They are still in that place. They are still working. They are making the money. They are rising every day. They are happy to go in. Lord, this is the way. That way is too long. That way is too long. Don't take me the Israelite way that you took them round and round. Don't take me that that path. I don't want to be in the wilderness. You don't understand. In that wilderness, the Lord trains you. In that wilderness, He takes you through Himself. In that wilderness, He doesn't leave you by yourself. He takes you. He walks with you. He shows you. He goes with you, so that your knowledge will not be destroyed. Because when you walk in the crowd, little by little you are dropping your knowledge. Little by little you are being corrupted. Little by little you are becoming one of them. Little by little you are disappearing. Little by little you've left what God gave you. Little by little you've left the assignment. Before you know it, my people are destroyed. Before you know it, you are one of them. Before you know it, because you've left the knowledge He gave you, you have gone far, 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 far from what He has said, from what He gave you. You have stepped away. You have gone too far. And the Lord says, because you forgot, I also forget your children.